Welcome to the Wolf Garage, sponsored by Wolf Ex Machina.
Apologies make lousy parachutes.
So why are we in the Lone Wolf Garage today? This is why. I have been having problems with my Harley-Davidson twin cam compensator. My 2012 Dyna Switchback sounds like somebody has thrown a bag of marbles inside of my primary. When it is hot, it has the hardest start on the planet. Battery is completely charged. Perfect amount of cold cranking amps. But when it is hot, it has trouble starting. Turns over a couple times, kind of wants to go, and then finally catches. These are all symptoms of a failing Harley-Davidson compensator. So this here product from Darkhorse Crankworks, the Man-O-War Motorsprocket, is supposed to solve those issues. It mimics a solid sprocket, but it's not really solid. It actually has these neoprene, I'm not really entirely sure what they are, but these things that look like big old earplugs stuffed inside here. There's two, bunch of them in here. I'll show an exploded diagram of that here. But after doing a metric ton of research, everyone says that the Harley-Davidson compensator and the upgraded Harley-Davidson Screaming Eel compensator are crap. That leaves only three options, really. There's solid, which a lot of people say are bad for the bike. Most of those people who say that don't actually have one in their bike, so I'm not sure what they're talking about. I don't have one, so I don't know. Some folks that actually have a solid sprocket say that it can actually transfer some of that pulsing from the engine, from that V-twin, beautiful, amazing thing, up through not only your feet, but up through the handlebars. And that's usually at low RPMs. Once you're at speed, you're not going to feel anything, supposedly. Again, I don't have one. This is just from what I've read. Others who have it say that it just feels better. It just rides better. And they don't actually feel any more vibration, and they don't hear any more noise from their compensator in the primary, which just sounds like marbles right now in mine, and I hate it. When you go on the forums, when you're just looking to find out about solid compensators, is that it's going to scissor your crankshaft. You have to have it welded together. I don't know. I've never seen that happen myself in general, but I don't have a solid sprocket. I have a regular Harley-Davidson crappy, failing compensator. And I hate it. The other option would be to buy an aftermarket compensator, one that is similar in design to what Harley-Davidson produces. Barnett makes one. It's like $600, but just like the Harley one, it's built to actually fail. It's a wearable item just like the Harleys. Forgot to mention that. Harley says that their compensators are wear items. You can't rebuild them, though. You can't just get extra parts and rebuild it. You have to buy the whole freaking kit and caboodle. It's silly. So that leaves me with my last choice. Darkhorse Crankworks, Man-O-War Motorsprocket. And obviously I bought one.
Let's go get it in the bike. Let's go get it in the bike. Let's go get it in the bike.
Torqued. Next, we got to get the bolts off for the clutch basket and the compensator. The clutch is actually held on with a reverse threaded nut underneath the adjuster for your clutch cable. So there's a snap ring right here. I fucking hate snap rings. See if we can do this without taking out an eye. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Alright, now that we can get at that nut, we need a big old breaker bar and a special tool to make it so that we can actually stop this from turning. And because this is reverse threaded, we're going to stick the tool in here. Almost knocked the bike over. All right, let's tackle the compensator bolt, which is on there with, I think, about 170 pounds, 160 to 170 pounds foot torque. This one's going to be tricky.
Sucker's a doozy.
That came off really easily. So here are the springs that flex up against the ramps on the compensator as it's spinning with this guy on your crankshaft. I don't know how easy it is to see here, but it's all this is not even anymore. Like my finger dips a lot right there, right there, right there. There's a giant indentation. There's so much wear on the inside of here. That's part of why you're seeing metal flakes inside your primary. And then my guess from everything I've read is that these are not performing the way they're supposed to anymore. They're either too flat, you know, you can still see that they're not flat, like they're not completely flat. They're still convex or concave, whatever you want to call it, but they're probably not as sturdy or rigid as a spring as they used to be. So that's where you're getting the clattering, or at least that's where I think that I am getting the clattering, again, from everything I've read and all the research I've done. So all of this stuff, all of this is this guy right here. And this one, you know, I'm a right-handed person, so my right hand and my right arm are going to be a little bit stronger most likely, but oh my God, is this heavier. This is absolutely ridiculous. Just preposterous. So that means you're going to have less spinning weight on your crankshaft with something like this. I'm going to say that physics is on my side with this Darkhorse Crankworks Man-O-War Motorsprocket, because less weight on your crankshaft is just going to be better. Centrifugal force, man. The faster it spins, the more weight that's being thrown. It's pretty simple. For shits and giggles, I'm going to take the primary chain off and actually just look at it. Visual inspection. Just make sure nothing looks too worn. Nothing feels like it's going to stab me or cut me. Feels pretty good. Now I'm going to yank out this automatic primary chain tensioner just so that I can ratchet it back down. According to the directions here, there needs to be no more than 0.025 inches of difference in alignment. 0.025. Comes with two 0.15 alignment shims. So let's see if we can make this line up properly. This guy goes on there. And then we'll throw this bad boy on. And we'll use a straight edge. Not long enough. I see no gap. No gap really whatsoever. Definitely can't get 0.025 in there. That, I think, is seemingly dead on. Let me try it from this side. Okay, we're flat on there. I got no gap. I am great. Well, I got a little bit. It's like probably 0.0015 or some stupid thing. It ain't no 0.025. Hell to the no. I think we are golden. We are not going to need any shims. All right. All right. Let's get this back on the clutch basket. Pull the Man-O-War Motorsprocket off. Get it on here. And this is where things really suck, because this actually has to come off. get them both back on. And they're both quite heavy. Wow, that's on. This is probably completely unnecessary and really not helpful at all. I see nothing off. It's a wonderful thing. All right, let's get this automatic primary chain tensioner back in. Before we put the primary chain tensioner back in, I am going to do a little cleaning of this sucker. Use some simple green for degreaser. We'll put just a dab of Loctite on there. Or thread locker. I'm sorry, I don't have. Oh, that's more than a dab. We can share. These bolts can share. So the clutch basket nut, I'm going to clean it off with some brake cleaner. Evaporate! Evaporate! Alright, we're good. I'm going to add some blue Loctite to this sucker. I'm going to get that back in there. And remember, reverse thread. So, lefty tighty. Let's see if I can get that a little further in there. So the next thing required by the directions is to install this oil sling spacer. It's got some holes in here and a channel back here. And it's kind of hard to see maybe right now, but I'll take a picture of it. And there are some holes in here that it slings oil into, so it lubricates on the inside. So anytime that you're working on your compensator, or say you need to take it off to get to your stator, you're supposed to actually replace the compensator bolt. Darkhorse Crankworks recommends using the newer style Torx head compensator bolt. So I picked up one of these from Harley. It was about $4 or $5. So worth the investment for the new one, as long as it works. And it comes actually with its own thread locker. This doesn't look red, but it calls for red thread locker on there. So let's put it in. This feels like it's going to be too long. It's a T70. That's very big. All right, time to torque everything back down. Let's take this guy off of here. We'll put our little tool in to make it so it does not spin. One more. With the breaker bar. Clutch hub nut, 70 to 80 foot-pounds. We're at a little over 70 foot-pounds. And we are there. Do it one more time. One more click. Perfect. Put our little tool on the other side. We're gonna crank down. Get it in there. All right, so the compensator side is a little bit different. This bolt actually has 2 torque measurements and a step in between them to loosen them up and then retighten it. So the first thing we gotta do is we gotta tighten it up to 100 foot-pounds. There you go. Now, I don't ever like loosening things with my torque wrench, so I'm going to go back over to the breaker bar. And we're going to loosen 1 full turn. So we have to take our tool out, put it back up here. Loosen 1 full turn. There's a full turn. Come out. And we're supposed to go up to 170. I'm going to do my best. This torque wrench actually goes up to 150. So we'll just max it out. And we'll call it a day. I need to get our little tool out. There it is. Put that in there. Leave your hands off so you don't lose a fucking grip. I got a cramp. Oh my God, I got a cramp. One more time. I think that's good. That's not gonna put up a fight. Get a little tooly thing out. Now we gotta fight with this stupid fucking snap ring again. So our clutch adjuster slides back in on its little rails. We don't actually need to do anything because we didn't change the adjustment. It should be the same as it was before. Now let's see if we can get this piece of shit to work. Have I told you lately how much I hate snap rings? So Man of War wants you to have ½ an inch of deflection in your chain, and with my automatic primary chain adjuster, cold, it seems like it has already gotten to that point. Hopefully it stays there. You never know with these automatic primary chain adjusters. Alright, time to button her up. Harley recommends that you change your primary cover gasket every single time you take this primary off. I have found that is inconvenient and not really necessary. I've seen people employ methods of making like a box that looks exactly like the primary on where every bolt needs to go. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Short ones go in shorts, long ones go in longs. I don't really have a problem there. If you need the extra help, that is an option. So we're going to crisscross snug these up, tighten them down. I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm not really going to bother with torque specs, because honestly I've done this so many times. I really just do it by feel at this point. If you're not comfortable doing it that way, or you haven't done this a crap ton of times, refer to the torque specs. Something very low. These are very easy to screw up. One of these days I'm going to invest in a motorcycle lift and spare my back all this pain. Alright, now I need to fill her back up with primary fluid. So we'll pop the derby cover off. So I'm just going to use the genuine Formula Plus for transmissions in primary cases. There is some specific number of how much goes in here, but pretty much it's always 1 quart, so I'm just going to do 1 quart. I'm not going to bore you with the end of this and make you watch the entire funnel drain. I'm also not going to bore you with putting my floorboard back on. So just remember, fill it with primary fluid, put your floorboard back on, or peg, or whatever it is that was in the way of taking the primary case cover off. But once all that's back on, time to test ride this sucker and hope I don't die.
All right, we are out here finally for a test ride using the Darkhorse Crankworks Man O' War Motorsprocket. I can say with a great deal of certainty that it has at least helped the problem I was having in one way. I am not having the same amount of noise from my primary that I was before. It does not sound like somebody threw a bag of rocks in there, or they're not in there shooting marbles and having a terrible time because they're just being knocked all over the place. Another thing that I am definitely not feeling is the same amount of vibration through my handlebars. There is a lot less vibration in my hands with this Darkhorse Man of War Motorsprocket than there was with the original compensator that was in the bike. Yeah, when I'm at idle or just sitting there with the clutch pulled in, it's vibrating. It's a Harley. What are you gonna do? It vibrates, but rolling right now, cruising at 2600 RPM in fourth gear, nowhere near as much vibration in my hands and the handlebars as there used to be. I like that a whole hell of a lot. The big test will be starting this bike when it is hot. That has been a problem for literally the 2 years that I've owned the bike. No matter how new the battery was, how topped off it was, how perfect its cold cranking amps were, it always has this hesitation when it's hot. And a lot of people have said that that's a sure sign of a bad compensator, and I'm hoping that this Man of War product will help solve that issue. Well, that is where I'm going to leave y'all after installing and giving you my first impression of the Darkhorse Crankworks Man of War Motorsprocket. Only time will tell if this is really what I needed. I'm pretty confident though it is, because I wouldn't have dumped the $550 into this without doing some research and hearing some just amazing reviews of their work in general, not only of their Motorsprocket but of their cranks and other products that they make. Everyone speaks very highly of them, so confidence is high. If you have any questions about the install, please let me know. If you have any experience with Darkhorse Crankworks, I would love to hear your views and opinions on their stuff and how it has been working with their not only customer service but products. And if you like this one, give it a big old thumbs up. If you don't, keep on trucking. And yeah, have a great day. Rock on.